And welcome to my PowerPoint presentation on Manage a Transport and Logistics Business Unit. First, we have a look at OLTL's existing customers. They work closely with air and sea carriers, and they're just an urgent freight delivery transportation group between their three main locations. We can gather feedback on Aussie Log's customer service levels by formal assessments, telephone surveys and face-to-face direct contact, improving their customer service levels, any changes to processes that are required, staff required to implement changes to technology. In obtaining new customers and a new customer service client base, we could tap into existing customers, go to trade shows and conferences, using media, social media, collaboration with others, supply chain partners and logistics providers, and we can also network as well. We could use a SWOT analysis on Aussie Log to see where their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats all are and lie. Strength for Aussie Log would be their existing network, existing customers, trained staff, and Aussie Log has a good rep. Weaknesses, aging plant and equipment. Current network is small and no established procedures. Opportunities, expansion into other states, use Aussie Log to reduce IAJ, expand Aussie Log to include stock fleet transportation. Threats, aging plant and equipment, financing new capital and equipment, qualified personnel for expansion. We performed an analysis called SWOT. Strengths and weaknesses reflect internal capabilities. Opportunities and threats reflect external. Strengths, we have found Aussie Log. They have an existing customer base, trained staff throughout Aussie Log. Weaknesses, aging plant and equipment, current network is small, no established procedures. Threats, aging plant and equipment, financing capital equipment, qualified personnel for expansion. Opportunities we found, expansion into other states, use Aussie Log to reduce costs to IAJ, and we could also include a stock fleet transportation as well. Recommendations, points to consider when looking at the merger: aging plant and equipment, small network, no established procedures, financing new capital equipment. We could put the plant and equipment out for an e-tender process. We could create a bigger network by expanding our regional depots into bigger transport hubs to service a wider area, and we can also put procedures in place. Pest analysis. Pest analysis is to look at the external outside of the company, so what the company really has no control over. PEST stands for political, economic, social and technological. PEST gives us an understanding of outside external factors, as I just said. External information may present business enterprise with opportunity, or it may create threat. Equally, internal information may describe either strengths or a weakness. Any evidence produced by the environmental analysis will therefore belong to one of those four groups. Aussie Log operates a fleet of B-doubles, semi-trailers and rigid trucks. The company also has depots in Sydney, Melbourne and Canberra, several smaller regional distribution centres throughout New South Wales. To comply with Mr. Bijojo's request to integrate Aussie Log with IAJ's business, the newly acquired fleet needs to be updated to handle the future demand of our logistics outlook. Full overhaul of B-double semi-trailers and rigid trucks is needed. Consolidation of smaller regional distribution centres, maybe one centre to the north of Sydney. Canberra hub could service southern New South Wales and another centre in central Victoria. Look at staffing requirements at all locations and implement technology where needed to cut down on staffing levels. Identifying goals. Business plans are a blueprint for business operations for the coming periods. They are made up of sub-plans for different areas of operation, all of which must be coordinated and consistent with each other. They should anticipate growth and development of the business. The plan should be 3 to 5 years in length. It should outline management plans to reach the business goals and define the methods which will be utilised to attain those objectives. Establishing goals. We could use the SMART acronym in establishing these. SMART stands for specific. Are objectives stated in a way that is precise without the business enterprise is hoping to achieve. Measurable. Can the enterprise quantify each objective? That is, can it use a unit of measure such as market share in percentage of dollars, other to provide way to check its level of success? Achievable. Are its objectives reasonable in terms of what it can actually achieve, or is it setting its sights too high? Realistic. Does the business enterprise have sufficient employees and resources to achieve the objectives that it has set? If it doesn't, they are likely to be unrealistic. Time specific. When is it hoping to achieve these objectives? It needs to define a timing plan with target timing for each specific objective. Goals should be established at 3 levels: strategic level, tactical level, operational level. Goals at the tactical and operational levels should be aligned with the long-term goals established at the strategic level. Contingency plans. Contingency plans should always be put in place because we never know what's around the corner, be it terrorist attack, environmental factors, environmental changes. So we must have a very detailed contingency plan to adapt to these difficult and unforeseen changes that may arise. Metrics should be categorised into strategic, tactical and operational. Strategic KPI, order lead time, delivery performance. Tactical KPI, delivery reliability, order entry methods, purchase order cycle time. Operational KPI, cost per operational hour, frequency of delivery and capacity utilisation. The KPIs that are listed here are only a handful and they should be managed on a regular basis. We can use a traffic light graph which utilises colours, and it will show us immediately what areas need attention now. Activity-based costings, ABC. These are costs associated with the day-to-day running of our business. Overheads may include rent, utilities, setup, cleanup, and MRO. Materials may include technology and vehicles, and labour may include wages. Knowing what our ABCs are will let us generate a forecast estimate of the timing and amount of cash flow in and out over a given time period. A cash flow forecast shows if a business needs to borrow and how much it will need and when it will be able to repay this debt. It's also known as a cash flow projection. This The purpose of a logistics cost analysis is to provide a reliable source of information that will enable better allocations of funds and or resources. So our staffing requirements here, as you can see up there on the board, we have supervisors, managers, fatigue monitors, first aid officers, and the minimum level of training that they need, and our depot crews as well. Which is all there for you to see as well. Our acquisition plan. Resources should be acquired in accordance with IAJ's procurement policy and procedures. Identifying the needs, that involves understanding the needs of the company to be established a short-term strategy, followed by defining the technical direction of the requirements. Identifying actions and systems and processes to monitor finances and conduct financial analysis to monitor resource acquisition and usage. Our ERP system, transaction-based information systems integrated across the whole business. They enable data capture for the whole business in a single computer package, which is then gives single source for all key businesses' information activities, including financials. Often ERP systems are linked to appropriate supply chain management network strategy software so that the business enterprise can undertake relevant planning. Analysing and interpretation of financial information is an important requirement for any business enterprise. Financial analytics can be used to increase sales and revenue while decreasing the need for capital investment and reducing operating costs. They are used to support financial planning, budgeting, forecasting, to create financial and managerial reports, financial budgets and forecasts. An example of use of a colour-coded icons is a traffic light report. Although traffic signalling is often regarded as a gimmicky tool, the message it conveys is instant, recognisable and understood. Display the conditions of key performance indicators or other metrics. Traffic light enables problem areas to be identified almost instantly. Green for good, red for bad. There's 5 steps, and we can use the acronym as DIMAC. Monitoring performance. This is handy for defining the problem that needs to be defined. More specific, the problem defined, the greater the chance of obtaining measurements and then successfully completing the project showing solving the problem. Analyze, improve, and then control. Cost reduction is the process of reducing costs and increasing profits. According to Smith-Bellaby, when designing and implementing a comprehensive cost reduction strategy, it should focus on 3 key deliverables: reducing overall operating costs, improving the management of utility contracts and relationships, reducing waste generally across all departments within a business. Methods of reducing costs may cover improving customer service, increasing perfect orders, increasing picking and shipping accuracy, consolidating distribution by examining the economic benefits and service impacts of closing one or more distribution centres that are underutilised. As you can see, there are a fair few things that we could look at that may reduce our costs. A reporting framework. Any report which is produced must be relevant and useful. Reports may provide summaries focusing on key statistics, exception reports that identify major deviations from the plan, detailed including all information. Reports should be made in a standard format, especially where there are any comparisons to be made about different sites. Data should be presented in whatever means is most appropriate to the eventual use of the data. Presentation of information and data should also be appropriate for the audience. Data may be presented as a graph like this, from a strategic level on OLTLs to IAJs, the business level down to the operational level. Okay, that concludes my PP for today. Thank you very much for your time.